Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me, it's Michael B, and welcome to the Friday News Blast. And in today's video, we got a ton of stuff to talk about. New Wave Toys absolutely shocked everybody with their plans for their next 1/6 scale Replicade, doing something absolutely nobody expected last night. We'll talk a little bit about that and their last episode of Arcade Life. Plus, on top of that, Wonderland Pinball also chose yesterday to announce their official Kickstarter, and we got the price on the machine, and it's a lot lower than people expected. On top of that, we just recently had the New York Toy Fair, and a huge personal surprise for me because a toy line that was very cherished from my childhood, M.A.S.K, is returning. And then last but not least, we got a little tidbit of news from Arcade1Up as Namco Bandai may have leaked their next cabinet. And guess what? It's more Pac-Man. So that's right, guys. It's time for me to hit you with a bunch of news. It's Friday, the start of the weekend. Hope everybody had a good week. We got tons of stuff to talk about today, but before we get into that, I want to say thank you so much, everybody, for checking out the video. Guys, I always appreciate the support. If this is your first time to the channel, you like what you see, go ahead, subscribe, click the bell for notification, all that YouTube jazz. So let's start out with probably the most unexpected and exciting news happening in the home arcade community right now. New Wave Toys did their latest episode of Arcade Life. Now, these guys, I love the way they're doing this. They're not implying YouTubers to try to get the information out. They're doing their own show, and so far, it's been really good. Love Shiloh, love Eduardo, good people. Last night, they gave us some updates on products, but they showed us their newest product, which was an absolute shock. A lot of people going in were looking at silhouettes, thinking it was going to be something like Marble Madness, when they went completely off the rails and announced they were doing a 1/6 scale replica of the classic Sega hologram arcade, Time Traveler. Now, they made this announcement official with some really cool archival footage of the Time Traveler arcade game. If you've never played it before, I completely understand why, because I don't ever remember seeing this when I was young, at least where I'm to here in Canada, and never got to experience myself until the first time I went to Galloping Ghost, and I got to play it, and, you know, it's interesting. Is it the best arcade game in the entire world? Absolutely not. But it's one of those oddities that people like myself never expected to see a home arcade company try to tackle. So this is just one of those very special projects that I'm not going to advocate before based on the quality of the game. I'm going to advocate just because of its uniqueness and how hard it is to actually be able to replicate and play this for yourself. Now, they did say during the live stream last night that this was going to be an especially different New Wave Toys Replicade. This was actually going to be a lot more expensive than what they'd, usually charge for the Replicades, with Shiloh quoting a number of as much as $300 and maybe more, which they stated was necessary because they were going to have to go out and get a more impressive processor than what they're already using in their Replicades in order to play the game right. They said they can get the hologram working at, I think it was 60 frames per second, but there's some issues with the audio. So this is going to be the most expensive Replicade to date, but you're getting something truly unique and truly special here. Now, they have put out a survey to try to gauge fan responses to make sure this is something they want to do, to find out how many of their fan base are willing to spend that kind of money. So I'll put a link down in the description below to their survey if you haven't taken it yet, so you can give them their feedback. The survey takes like 15 seconds to do. Are you willing to pay $300 to $400? Are you willing to pay $400 plus? And do you not want Time Traveler and wish they did another Laserdisc game? So go check out the survey and give New Wave Toys feedback on if you want to see them make Time Traveler. Next up, we have the smallest amount of Arcade1Up news, and also probably the most unsurprising. Namco made a big announcement yesterday to celebrate the 45th anniversary of Pac-Man, and they announced several collaborations, partnerships, and new products coming out. One of those products they did announce was they leaked that we will be getting a new 45th anniversary Pac-Man Arcade1Up cabinet. So if you guys head on over to Time Extension, you can check out this article for yourself. They basically give an outline of everything that Namco is planning to do to celebrate the 45th anniversary of Pac-Man, including linking the video you guys just saw there. But in this right here, this section here, it says, in addition to the above, in a press release, the company also outlined a bunch of other products for the year ahead, including Pac-Man Simulator, collaboration with Super Social, for the hit game Roblox, a Pac-Man cookbook. I hope the cookbook tells us how to make that delicious Pac-Man cereal from back in the day. A bunch of special edition gaming accessories for Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox Series XS from PowerA. Playable electronic toys from Dream Gear, and arcade machines from Arcade1Up. Now, I think we know Pac-Man has been done to death by Arcade1Up already. I think we've seen every variant we could possibly see, with a new wood grain Pac-Man Plus Cabaret cabinet coming out last year. The question is, what do they plan to do with Arcade1Up this year? One possibility, of course, is do something similar to what My Arcade is doing with their Pac-Man Mighty Player, that cool graffiti side art. It's not arcade accurate, not something I'd be interested in, but I don't think it looks too terrible. Yeah, so, I mean, for those of you that are excited, cool. For those of you that are done with Pac-Man, I understand. Me personally, I have zero interest in another Pac-Man cab, but if you're looking for something, you're a big Pac-Man guy, you want something special for the 45th anniversary, maybe there's some interest there for you. Now, switching gears completely, I want to talk a little bit about toys, because I just personally found out, thanks to the New York Toy Fair, one of my childhood favorite toy lines is making a big return. Now, if you guys don't remember, M.A.S.K was a popular cartoon and toy line from the mid-'80s that focused on vehicles that kind of transformed, but not into other robots, but they transformed into other things. Like, there was a car that was also flying, there was a helicopter that was also a jet, all kinds of crazy stuff like that. And then you also had these characters that had regular jobs but also worked overtime as superheroes that wore specific masks and drove these cool vehicles. And it also had one of the greatest TV show theme songs of all time. Tracker's gonna lead the mission. Inspector's got that supervision. M.A.S.K. Well, some news broke late last week. I missed it, but apparently this company, Loyal Subjects, in collaboration with Hasbro, are going to be revitalizing this toy line. Here's some teaser images they posted. There's the 5 characters they're going to be releasing in Wave 1. There we've got our first preview image of Tracker with Thunderhawk. And then you're going to see all the vehicles they're coming out with. There is the Switchblade, which I actually had as a kid, that a mummer, if you know what a mummer is, came into my house and stepped on Christmas night and broke my heart. We've also got the Condor, and then one last character and vehicle set. 2 characters with this one, Soto and Tracker. And you're also getting the Rhino, which apparently is pretty hard to find in the used market right now. Now, I want to say a huge thank you to my buddy Pixel Dan. This is footage from his video. He was at the New York Toy Fair, and there you can see the prototypes for the re-releases coming out very soon. There is the Condor helicopter, not final, and also apparently they're still working on the names. They may not be able to give the actual machines their original names. They're still working on that. The characters will have the original names. There's the Thunderhawk with Tracker. There is the Switchblade. And last but not least, there's the Rhino, which comes with 2 playable characters. We also found out the price. The Condor is going to be $39.99. The Thunderhawk is going to be $59.99. The Switchblade is going to be $79.99. And then the Rhino is going to be $99.99. The big changes with these is these are to scale to the original. However, the actual M.A.S.K characters, if you remember the original, didn't have many points of articulation. These have a few more. Think closer to the old school 3.75-inch G.I. Joes. These are actually like 2-point-something inch, so they're even smaller than G.I. Joes. And then the vehicles are going to be extremely accurate. However, they do have some quality-of-life improvements with modern things, kind of like those flares there for posing on a shelf. Of course, I had to pull up this picture of my childhood. That's actually not me. That's my brother, Christmas morning, showing off his Teddy Ruxpin toy. But you can see in the background, I was very lucky that Christmas as I got the Rhino, the Switchblade, which I just mentioned, which unfortunately got broke Christmas evening when a mummer came in and stepped on it. And I also had the gas station playhouse. I was a very lucky child. I had a very good mom and dad, and thank you so much for an awesome Christmas. What I'm also told is that even though that the original names might not be final for the toys, they might have to change something, they are going to be shipped and sold in the original box. So for me, this is nostalgia overload. They hit all the points for me wanting to collect classic toys reissued. You're getting the toys very close to the original, in the original packaging. Yeah, Mike B's all in on the M.A.S.K rebrand. Now, super early this morning, we got an update from our friends at Wonderland Amusements about their upcoming Alice Goes to Wonderland pinball machine. The Kickstarter is now live, and we've got some updates on what's included and mainly the price. They've been telling us all along the price point was going to be sub $1,000, which a lot of us assumed $999.99. Turns out it's actually going to be a lot more affordable for than that for this 3/4 scale physical pinball machine, as the Kickstarter starting price is in fact $799.99. So we got an update on the Pinball Kickstarter development schedule. It looks like the campaign is going to start March 2025. Then the final sample is going to be done April 2025. Mass production starts June 2025. Product ready at factory Q3 2025. Fulfill Kickstarter backers Q4 2025. So it looks like we're going to be able to get these in our homes if we want to back the Kickstarters by Christmas 2025. So I think there's a couple different levels you can get in on here. The most important value proposition that's got to be thrown out there is that price of $799.99 for the first 100 units. So if you're one of the first to jump in on this, it's only going to be $800. Well, I mean, that's still $800, but $800 for a physical pinball machine, that's not bad value. Now, anybody after the first 100 units, I think it's going to be $850 going forward from there until the end of the Kickstarter. Now, they also shared a bunch of reward tiers that I just want to go over with you here. Extra things: Queen's Court playing cards. Get the complete set of Carlos Mendoza's thirds, Alice Goes to Wonderland iconic playing cards. Iconic name that just keeps popping up lately, or a term that just keeps being used, in $20. White Rabbit Early Bird Special, we talked about, $7.99. Then from there, you got the Mad Hatter's Choice, which is going to be anybody after the first 100 units, $849. Then there's a 2-pack. If you want to work with a friend, you can get both of them for about $1,600, 20% savings. So if you miss out on the 100, maybe team up with somebody. Then you get the limited Queen of Hearts edition, $1,899, which includes Alice Goes to Wonderland machine antique bronze accents, which we'll show you in a second. Individually numbered and signed collector's pack, limited edition certificate of authenticity, Mad Hatted lighter topper, so it does have a topper that you can pick up that's also available in the add-ons. 2 Queen's Court 3D character bundle, so that's one of these right here. Wonderland Shooter Upgrade, which is this right here. Wonderland Pinball Dust Cover, Queen's Court character playing cards. So all of those things can be available. So there are some standees in there. Those can be replaced with these 2 characters. Let's go down, and there's the brass that they show on there, which is quite the upgrade to what they're doing, like a powder coating for the legs. I gotta say, that looks pretty good. I don't know if I'm willing to shell out $2,000 though. So again, if you're not going to buy one of those bundles, there are add-ons that you can purchase separately. Let's go down there. So we got the Wonderland Pinball Dust Cover, $49. Now, usually with a pinball machine, what you normally do is you just get a playfield cover. What they've got here is a whole tarp to cover up your machine. I feel like this is more of a barbecue cover for you guys like me that live in a place where we get pretty bad weather in the winter. We usually cover up our barbecues with something like this, but a branded barbecue cover slash pinball dust cover. This is one of the cool ones, the Mad Hatter and Cheshire Cat sculpt and Wonderland shooter rod upgrade. Shooter rod upgrade's a big thing with pinball. A lot of people do. So seeing that Wonderland keyhole with the doorknob there as the shooting rod, that's a nice touch. Whoa, I was moving my background there. And then moving down here, you've also got the characters you can put in there so you can remove the standees, put some molded characters. We got the Mad Hatter. Whoa, I did it again. Oh my God. And you've also got the light up eyes on the Cheshire Cat. That is pretty friggin' rad, man, I gotta say. And then you also get the Mad Hatted lighted topper. I'm not in love with this topper. It does come in at a very cheap price, but as I can tell, like, it's nice, but it looks like it's mostly like cutout and stuff like that. It's cool that they're doing a topper. I also want to see what the third-party market does. This is one of the cool things about the community. They've got an option, which is their official topper. Let's see, it's designed to fit perfectly on your Alice back glass. I don't know if it has, like, one of the cool things with toppers is it interacts with the code on the game and does special things. I don't know if this does that. So yeah, it's cool, but I'm also looking forward to see what the community can do, because I'd like to see something that's more of a standard pinball topper. This is more along the lines of like what Spooky does with their like cutout toppers, but if you wanted to get that one, looks like it's going to be $149. So anyways, guys, I'll put a link in the description below for the video to the Wonderland Amusements Kickstarter announcement, so you can get all that information for yourself. Really long video, like 15 minutes, but tons of information for you guys to go over and consider for your Kickstarter. And that's everything for today, guys. Lots of fun stuff to talk about. Of course, New Wave Toys absolutely blew our mind with the Time Traveler announcement last night. This is a project I will 100% back, just because this is one of those arcades you make jokes on. When Arcade1Up says, or any of these other companies, what arcade do you want to see us make? You make joke comments like, make a wacko, or make this, like something that you would think in a million years they'd never do. But that's what we're getting with Time Travelers. So even though it's going to cost me like $500 to $600 Canadian, I'm probably going to back this just because it's so unique, so stupid. I love it. Is it a good game to play? No! But is it an awesome piece of arcade history? You bet your ass. Like, it is really super cool. Then on top of that, we got the, you know, whatever it is, Arcade1Up news that they're going to be celebrating the Pac-Man 45th anniversary. I don't mean to come off as a dick for those people that are excited about that news. Cool for you. Just doesn't do anything for me personally. The M.A.S.K toys, however, I'm super excited about that. Like, it's going to cost me an arm and a leg. I don't know if they're going through Canadian retailers, but apparently they are going up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Stores, so I'm probably going to have to order them from them and pay a shit ton of money on shipping, but there's no way I'm missing getting those M.A.S.K toys. And then last but not least, Wonderland Amusements. You know, as we've been on this journey, they continue to impress me. Like, everything they've done so far is better than I anticipated. Even the price, like, I love the price of the Kickstarter. My only thing is, there's the one variable with pinball that is always going to be hard. You don't really know if you want it until you play it. So, I mean, with all this stuff out there, I can't tell you what to do. You make your own decision. Me personally, I already own a real pinball machine. I don't know if I'm going to jump in, but I got to say, I'm really happy with the price and what I've seen so far. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of all the news I shared today? Anything you're super interested in? You know, let me know. Anyways, guys, thank you so very much for watching. This is Michael B. the Game Genie. I'll talk to you next time.